great. That was wonderful. Oh my God. Yeah. You didn't make it?
I didn't write it.
You didn't write it. That's fine. I didn't write any of these jokes. I stole them all from Bob Hope, so let's get into it. So yeah, I do comedy. I go to a lot of open mics. I feel like when you get like music, poetry, open mics, it's kind of rare to see comedians, right? We usually stick to our own. That's why you don't see us. We stick to our own like comedy-specific open mics, which is nice. I like being in a room full of other comedy open mics. I think there's something about like not being the only one in the room who thinks he's too funny for the job fair. You know, like it's important to that support is nice. You know, you guys are like, yeah, he's definitely not too funny for the job fair. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. It's nice to be at open mic nights. You never know. Life's tough. You gotta have fun, right? So you never know how life's gonna turn out, right? Like when I was a kid, you know what I wanted to grow up to be? I was a great international spy. Yeah. As an adult, you know what I ended up settling with being? A very ambitious eavesdropper. I didn't quite have the motivation or the skills or the connects. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I don't know. You gotta do what you gotta do. Anyone here is a safe space? Talk about depression a little bit. Won't get too heavy. Right? This is all right. Yeah. So I got the depression, and like you do when you have it, you try to fix it a little bit, right? Which means you go online and read articles about how to fix it. And so I read this recently that like first thing in the morning, right when you wake up, if you read something challenging, it can alleviate your depression. It can increase your like focus, sense of self-accomplishment. It's got to be challenging, you know. So ever since I read that, every morning now it's just me and a few pages of Where's Waldo? Yeah, but guys, it's the audio version. You know how tough that is to find that guy? I'm just like, where is this dude? He never says anything, not a peep out of this one. It's ridiculous, but I'm feeling better, which is nice, you know? Yeah. So I'm one of these guys. We've all heard of car camping, van life. Have you heard of this? Right? It's a fairly new term. We should just call it a deadbeat living out of his car, but now's the time to do it. It's sort of glamorized, right? It's like car camp. I live in a small car. I've been doing it for a while now. And when I first started doing it, it's like a big life change, small car, right? So I was like, let's do this responsibly. Let's stay ahead of some things, right? So that was when I first started going to therapy regularly. Yeah. And at the time, it wasn't even mental health that I was worried about. I just wanted to still be able to lay down on a couch somewhere once a week. You know, that was important. You gotta stretch out. I probably don't go to therapy for the right reasons. I'm not interested in a doctor to give me pills, but nice pillows, now we're talking. You know, you gotta find your priorities in life. But yeah, living in the car, it's nice. I like it, no roommates, but of course, dating is a little tough, as you can imagine. I can't just be like, come on back to my place, you know? It's a little weird every time a woman asks me for my address and I have to give her my license plate number, you know? She's like, well, really, your license plate number? I'm like, well, I think we're both assuming this is going to be a hit and run anyway, so it seems appropriate to share that information now, I think. You know, let's get ahead of the game. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. I'm depressed, but I have friends, which is important. You got to have friends, people in your life, right? I have some very nice friends. A few of my friends were homeschooled growing up. And I find they're a little nicer than the rest of my friends. They're a little more like bright-eyed. I think it's something about like when you do it, like you take the schooling atmosphere, you do it at home, it becomes like a more loving, supportive thing. You know, it just changes you a little bit. Like I was talking to one of my friends, and he was like, yeah, when I was a kid, anytime I felt like I needed a break, like even in the middle of a lesson, my mom would let me go outside and water the garden. And because she encouraged play, she let me do it with a squirt gun. I was like, wow, that is the most pleasant school shooting I've ever heard of in my life. That is beautiful. You never hear of that, you know? Kiddo, make sure you get those daisies over there. They're hiding under a desk in the corner. That's important. We gotta... Yeah, but I love my homeschool friends. They're very nice. They're very nice. They're the only friends I have who consistently send me these texts, like motivational, just out of the blue. Also, consistently, these texts, a lot of spelling errors to sift through, I'm not gonna lie. But they're well-intentioned. It's beautiful. It's very, you know, I like it. But I don't like to correct the spelling. I feel like that's kind of obnoxious. You don't want to be that guy, you know? And plus, I was talking to one of my friends, and he was like, you know, he said, this is the way that I look at it. Because teaching is like such a direct and purposeful act, like all the information that my parents gave me growing up, kind of like a family heirloom now. That's cool, right? I was like, wow, yeah, it's not every family that can make an heirloom out of a misspelling of the word heirloom. So that's really special, I think. You know, you gotta find it where you can. Guys, that's my time. Let's keep this thing going. Please go for your wonderful host, Doc. And enjoy the rest of the night. Be safe, will you? All right. Sure thing. We'll do. Thank you.
All right, give it up for Pat one more time. First time we're here at Custom House. I
we got Andrew coming up now, and then these D's after Andrew.
All right, Andrew.
Hello. You want that mic? Sure. Whatever you want. This the mic is yours. Oh, just with the switch.
Hello. Mic check, mic check. That mic is checked. I feel I now can let you in on a little secret. It's not really a secret, you probably know me. You probably heard me going, flowing, looking at this place, the Customs House. So silent all the time, not even a mouse could be here. I'm just kidding, it's loud, it's proud, and we're all here. We're happy, we don't have any fear, because when Christine brings us something, we know we are flying high, and this feels pretty good, being next to these guys. I'm here with David on bass and Jerome on saxophone, and giving me this kind of sense in my bones, like I'm gonna start saying something soon that is rather expected. It's a song that you may know, it's called Zed. Can you start me off? In what key?
E flat